Hi, I'm David Wheeler with Conserve Wildlife Foundation. It's Earth Day 2020, the midst of one of the most challenging years we've ever experienced in our lifetimes. It's important now to look back 50 years ago at the very first Earth Day and all the progress we've made since then. The time when silent spring was in the air, when the threat of losing wildlife altogether weighed very much on the minds of Rachel Carson and ultimately the lawmakers. It was a time when rivers were catching on fire in Ohio. And in New York Harbor and the Delaware River, you had noxious dead zones where nothing could survive. It was a time when entire regions like the Meadowlands were written off ecologically. And when wildlife was declining at an incredible rate. Peregrine falcons gone east of the Mississippi River. Bald eagles down to just a single nest in the early 80s in all of New Jersey. And other species nearly wiped out entirely. Thanks to the progress that began with that very first Earth Day, and thanks to the citizen action that really helped drive it, we started seeing amazing changes. First, we saw the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency federally, and here in New Jersey, the Department of Environmental Protection. We saw laws like the Clean Water Act and the Endangered Species Act. We saw the protection of land, now with over 1/3 of land protected in New Jersey, thanks to nature advocates and sportsmen's groups. We saw wildlife begin to come back. First, little by little, and in recent years, for some species, absolutely incredible and inspiring comebacks. Bald eagles, now over 200 species, 200 nests in the state. Peregrine falcons, you can now see nesting in downtown Jersey City in the financial district, or in New York City, or in Philadelphia. All of these comebacks have occurred in a way that give us hope. We can follow nature's lead in showing their resilience and their strength and recovery as we face some of the most daunting challenges we as a society and as individuals have faced. As we're stuck inside more often than not, only able to look out our windows and look on our screens, we find that it could be easy right now to sever our connection to nature. But in reality, what we're doing is finding exactly the opposite. More people than ever are finding new and more expanded ways to engage with nature. The chance to go outdoors, whether it's just looking out your window at the bird feeder or getting outdoors safely and practicing social distancing to nature hotspots. Whatever the way is for you, it's important to remember that it's springtime, and right now, everything is buzzing here outdoors. The trees are greening, flowers are blooming, pollinators are buzzing around, songbirds migrating through, spring peepers, their calls echoing through the night. It's an incredible time in nature, which has only continued its recovery in these darkest times, and yet, for us, they're a sign of hope. And they're a sign of us following their lead as we get through this obstacle. I invite you to check out so many different offerings we have online right now on conservewildlifenj.org. And I also invite you to consider supporting the work we do, our scientists who make these inspiring recoveries possible, and our educators who have developed now all online virtual programming to replace the in-school programming they had been doing right before the pandemic hit. Our work needs to continue, and we hope that you'll be a big part of helping us get through this tough time. Just like we know that nature will be the biggest part of helping all of us get through this. Thank you, and be safe.